Welcome to Squirrel Trails. I'm David.
And I'm Al, as usual.
So, we're going to talk about two different things. We're going to go back to our last conversation on Uber and Lyft and kind of where things stand currently, because it's still kind of a hot topic.
Yeah, it's amazing what's being talked about with that one these days. Really, there's some interesting concepts that may or may not actually be true in the conversation.
So, our second topic, which we'll talk about first, is Area 51.
Well, not Area 51 in general,
No.
but because I'm not allowed to.
Sure, yes.
But the actual deal with there was a festival today.
Well, last week on Friday.
Last week on Friday, yeah.
20th. The Area 51 raid. So, let's talk about it.
So let's kick this one around. We had been talking about in the news, not you and I, because we've tried to stay on normal topics. That stay on a topic. That we were Area 51, a big event. A guy posted a note in Facebook for an event called
The Area 51 raid.
They Can't Stop Us All, if I remember right.
Yes. They were going to all run like ninjas, this whole animated ninja move that if everybody ran like that, they wouldn't be able to stop us.
And I don't know if anybody can actually run that way, but okay.
You can run that way, basically like this. So you can run like that, you know how fast that helps anything.
So, anyway, how many people signed up to go to this thing?
Over 2 million.
And how big is the area outside of Area 51? I mean, there's a town outside of Area 51.
There's
actually two of them, I think, but one right outside. Right.
Yeah. Yep.
And how big is that town?
It wouldn't have supported 2 million.
No, it would not have supported 2 million.
It supports a town of under 100,000 for sure.
Yeah, I think the town has got like 300 people in it, maybe.
Yeah. Small.
And it's got one hotel that has a handful of rooms, but it's got a cute name.
Yeah.
It's a little Allian. No. It's
Go look it up. You'll find it. It's pretty.
It's a play on the name, and so please, you can abuse me all you want, but it's a play on the name.
And the restaurants have good names, or good food names too.
Okay, so if you're gonna,
the whole town is basically there just to sell shit.
Used to do work in Roswell, New Mexico. There's a town that lives up to that part of its name.
Sure, yeah.
And it's got a museum, it's got all sorts of things. There are a lot of other good things about Roswell, New Mexico, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Scully and...
New Mexico Military Institute comes to mind.
Okay.
So,
Mueller, yeah.
But there are some wonderful things in Roswell. But yeah, if you're going to own it, own it.
Well, so these people tried to own this raid.
Yes.
And out of that 2 million people that signed up, 200 showed up. Yeah.
And the news the day before was that the town was prepared for 30,000 people.
Yeah, and there were cops there.
Yeah.
And the state troopers, the army was there. I mean, usually the fence around Area 51 isn't guarded. You usually can't see them.
Right.
It's guarded, but they're hidden.
Right.
But this time, they were actually Army guys lined up along the fence.
Probably Air Force guys, but yeah.
We won't get into that topic. Army, military.
Yes. Okay, go there.
We'll go military. Guys lined up. So, and basically, it just was a party.
Yeah. Well, and that was the intent. I mean, the guy that kicked this thing off, it was a joke.
It was a joke, and he actually did have to announce, last month it was, that he made a video, a statement saying, "Don't go, don't do this." I was joking.
Because there was a lot of fear that this was going to be an event like Fire, whatever that one was.
Oh, yeah. People were talking about people getting mowed down. People are going to run the fence, and then, of course, the military has to do what it's supposed to do, defend it. And
more importantly, even if they didn't run the fence, if if people hadn't been prepared and 2 million people showed up,
Sure. Yeah.
you know, that would have been a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about what it takes for an infrastructure to support 2 million people,
They were just there partying. It wasn't like this isn't an infrastructure trying to hopes and effects like your kind of event.
Okay.
Mr. Office guy.
Well-
this is
okay,
this is drinking down the river.
right,
kind of-
but
kind of a
there's
party.
no water to drink down.
Everybody brought canteens.
Oh, Lord help me.
There was a water buffalo. There was a water buffalo there. I mean, it was supported by enough. So and there was apparently like a Coca-Cola or some other.
Oh yeah, I mean they did prepare for 30.
they
They
did
did prepare for 30,000. But the guy was absolutely concerned a month ago that if he or maybe you, if you decided that you wanted to kick off an event someplace and it got viral, would you be accountable?
Yeah, exactly. So nothing really happened. It was kind of just a party. 2 people did get arrested. One guy because he was intoxicated.
Say it isn't so.
Yeah, right. And the other guy, the news really didn't get into. I did see a live stream because yes, it was interesting. See what happens. But one guy did cross the border for like 30 seconds. Not even that.
Yeah, that's a good way to go to jail.
He just jumped the fence and jumped back, and everybody's making fun of him for actually doing it, which is very surprising. They were all talking about raiding Area 51 and going and finding these aliens. Well, when someone actually did cross the line, everybody else was like, "No, don't do that."
Because you're going to get shot
Yeah.
or go to jail
Exactly.
or something.
But if you're going to show up, I mean,
Okay, let's be honest. People showed up for the party.
yeah. Okay.
Let's be absolutely honest here. It's a wonderful event. People do a lot of fun things. This thing got kicked around because I don't want to spend a ton of time on this. We've already spent way too much. But the reality is people showed up for a party. A handful of people showed up for a party. I do wish there had been more there because it probably would have been a good party, and maybe it may actually become an ongoing event.
There you go. Every year.
Every year, show up and have a party out the side. And after all, we've just heard that there's a new object coming in from outside the solar system.
Right.
So who knows?
Exactly.
This may become an ongoing thing, and we could be welcoming our new rulers.
So, with that being said, to everybody that's watching this, don't forget to click like and subscribe.
Comment and yell at us as required.
Exactly.
Or if you signed up to go and didn't, tell us why.
Yeah. So with that, what's your next topic?
Okay, the other thing we were going to talk about was kind of a follow-up from last week. We kicked around actually in some depth, and especially in the discussion afterwards.
Our Tuesday video.
Yeah, on Uber and Lyft and the California law, where AB 5, where essentially the gig economy is going to go away and be replaced by employees again.
Yeah.
Because essentially that's what they're calling for.
Yeah. Yep.
And so unless you're in a standard kind of a gig economy, like an accountant, where you're doing something for fee, potentially some truck drivers would come into play, insurance agents, real estate agents, those kinds of things.
Wrestling.
No, wrestlers are going to get impacted, we think.
Okay.
So, but those kinds of normal things that we're used to, the laws carve those out. But the reality is that anybody else that gets paid to do something on the spot based upon essentially a request by a company that's what they do, is to send out these requests, and that's what Uber, Lyft, Dine and Dash do, you're going to be an employee if in California and potentially in New York, Washington, and Oregon as well as they get passed.
Yeah.
The challenge being, and we kicked it around, is what does that mean to Uber and Lyft, and what does that mean to the gig economy instead?
You found an article to talk about this?
I did. Forbes had an article earlier this week by Panos Mardokadis. Wow, I actually got that close. So, wrote this article, and I really liked it, titled, "California Cannot Fix Uber and Lyft." And really comes out to say, hey, their entire business model is based on the gig process.
Yeah.
And while there are signs out there being held by drivers in New York that they're making billions, they're actually losing money.
Yeah.
And are continuing to lose money. And we can talk about why that's happening, but the reality is Uber and Lyft haven't actually grown large enough to make any money yet.
True. They're still a relatively new company.
Right. And so the expectation that they're pocketing a ton of money for the drivers simply is not true. And that's part of the challenge that's coming into play. Now, we can ask about if they're spending money on autonomous vehicles when they shouldn't be, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, how are they spending money? But the reality is Uber and Lyft are still losing money as they try to figure this out.
Well, I think we should get into that because I do have some opinions on that.
Well, let's go to the other piece that comes in. So we'll go into the other piece of this, which is the other side, which is this could actually kill the gig economy.
Oh yeah, that's something I think is gonna have a big time.
So it's if you suddenly say you can't have people that have chosen to work part-time, occasionally, more importantly, on demand, because that's really the key on gig is on demand as desired. So it really takes both of those models, on demand and on desired. If they can't do that anymore and they become employees, that whole flexibility goes away.
Yeah, I mean, I think the gig economy is great for young people, college students, stay-at-home parents.
Right. Or somebody that wants to bounce around, say, have 2 or 3 different things going on at the same time.
Instead of having 2 jobs,
right,
they have 1 job and 1 gig.
Right. Or they may have a half a dozen gigs.
Yeah.
Because they could be online and available for several different services.
Exactly. Well,
okay.
Sure.
Let's okay. And conceptually, we don't want to drive down into that one because I'm going to get myself in trouble. I can tell. But so that's really the conversation that's going on right now, especially since we had a big strike in New York earlier this week. And this is where this article of Forbes goes into, is that the people are expecting to get more money out of California law AB 5. Probably not going to be the case. What's likely going to happen is Uber and Lyft, their stock is going to continue to drop. They're going to potentially go out of business or have to completely change the model. The one place that they've started seeing this is in New York, where there are some state laws about the number of drivers Uber and Lyft can have, those things, and the article goes into this. But we're already seeing that we're not getting the same coverage in less favorable areas. Small towns or places that maybe people don't want to hang out. Okay. So coverage goes away because you no longer have people that are going to be just sitting available to do that, because being available doesn't necessarily mean sitting in your car with a clock running. I mean, I could be sitting in my home having spaghetti while the clock's running and saying, oh yeah, I can go make this call right now. Done.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just about having, as long as the app is up and running, you're on the clock.
And so that's part of the deal that comes into play, and I think is a misconception. Many of us that are employees. Yeah. I'm an employee. David is much more of a self-employed person.
Self-employed. 100% self-employed.
100% self-employed, and we have a very the expectation there is different, and I'm going to add to the fact that. A lot of people got into this gig economy thinking they could make a ton of money, and somebody's going to get mad at me, but I'm just going to say it. Being self-employed is hard.
Oh, that is a complete understatement.
So, where else do you want to go with this? Because I think we're already beginning to get toward where we want to be.
So we will, stay tuned for tomorrow's video. We'll kind of get into it because I don't want to give up. We're trying to make these Monday short videos on Monday,
and I've just pressed a button.
Yeah. So before I start ranting, we'll end it here. So if you have any comments on what you think about the gig economy, is there a gig that you do part time?
And I'll be honest, just to be clear. I used to do some consulting on the side in the evenings, very much as a gig, and made some money on it. But it's hard. Yeah. So this is a topic for basically any of us that want to do something on the side.
So there'll be a link below. Reach out for this article, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button because we are still trying to grow our channel. And if you have any comments and suggestions, hate mail, we'll take it all.
Yeah, I mean, anything, communication is good. I learn from whatever you send us.
Yeah, for sure. So with that, thank you for watching.
Take care.